Good morning. Commander Chase Coach 704, PEL, Primetime Elite League Pre-Draft Show, Season 2 edition. Alright, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start looking at the free agent signings that everyone has made so far. Before we do that, we do have one open team in the Lions. If you get someone to join and they stay at least half of the season, you will receive a free development upgrade. So the Cardinals will be getting one for bringing in somebody. I forget who it was. But anyway, so that incentive is out there. And if you brought someone in last season and they are still here, let me know. Sometimes I forget with everything I've got going on. But that is the reward. Now, they do have to be active, and we've had a couple of teams in this offseason that have not been active, so I will have to check in with those guys after the draft, and especially if they don't draft tonight, and find out what's going on. So there may be more openings potentially because of that, but that is an incentive that's out there for everybody. And as you can see, it's hard to roster build, and you need every advantage you can get. So, find someone, have them stick around, have a season, and you'll be good to go on a development upgrade. All right, so looking at who's signed right here, this was the first stage of free agency. Surprised, well, I think the CPU signed Richard Sherman. I don't know if the Bills, he was in, so I guess he wanted Richard Sherman. He's still decent, 2 years, $20.6 million. The Jags picking up Patrick Peterson. I tried to re-sign him. He wanted too much money. I don't think he's worth all that money he gave him, but what the hell. He's still a good player, though. Let's see. Reuben Foster was a good linebacker. Redskins took advantage of that. Signed him to a pretty good deal. They got a steal with Zach Brown. I think he'll be a veteran linebacker. I needed some veterans behind the guys I had to help out. Good morning, Colts. Good to see you. Robinson, big D tackle, run stuffing guy. That's a good deal for him. I signed Perryman, but I think I must have messed up his bid or something. I didn't think I gave him that much money. But anyway, we need to know linebacker. He'll start for us. Let's see here. Gerard Davis is a pretty good player. Michael Brockers, a pretty good D tackle. That's a good signing. Dawkins, I think, was one of the best tackles out there. It's not a bad deal for offensive linemen this Madden. Let's see. Lindsey, speed guy, running back. Conley is a pretty good player. Not bad deal for him. Dolphins they spent a lot of money on veterans, which, I keep trying to tell you guys, veteran players are valuable. And, if you get the right ones with the right, traits that, they'll do a good job for you. And you sign them to deals that aren't that long, so I like that for the Dolphins right there. Tack McKinley is a better player in Madden than he is in real life, apparently. And then the Panthers play the Falcons today, so he'll probably go off for like 4 sacks. But anyway, big pass rusher right there for the Vikings. Got that done. Good big money on him. Patriots getting a center. They really needed that. Alex Mack, that's a good signing. Titans signed the best fullback out there, Anthony Sherman. For what he likes to do on offense, that's a good signing. Let's see. Zay Jones was really good. Colts gave him some big money to join their team. We let Gerald McCoy go. He's still a good player, but we had a rookie that is going to take his spot, so the Cardinals take advantage of that. Signed him to a 1-year deal. Good job. D Ford, that's good value signing right there. I remember he signed with like 51 points, so that's ideal for what you want to do, in this Madden with your rosters. All right, in the next stage of free agency, Jordan Lewis is a good player for Ravens. That's a good signing right there. I like Darius at that price, veteran player, good signing. Everett is going to pair with Hunter Henry and San Diego. And Deontay will run those 2 tight end sets a lot, so that fits him well. Patriots are doing a good job. They needed offensive linemen that's spending their money wisely. We let Eric Reed go. I think I got some other guys that can fill his spot. His contract was a little out of whack. Paying him that amount is a good deal right there. Warford, that's a good value for him. I'm surprised some of you guys didn't jump on those offensive linemen, because usually good offensive linemen will fly off, but they were slow this free agency period, and I don't really know why. But, I think the Dolphins did a good job right there. Let's see. Sammy Watkins. The Cardinals had money to spend, unlike most of us. So they decided to go out and get some veteran receivers, and he was one of them. Roby's a good corner at that price. I think that was a good deal right there for the Redskins. Let's see here. Kenny Stills to the 49ers. A little rich. And I've got a phone call from my job that I'll have to ignore for the moment. Bills, T.Y. Hilton. He was I think one of the few superstar receivers available right there. And paid a premium for him, but he still has some good work behind him. We signed Dez Bryant. I needed a different type of receiver to go in my core. We were looking at some other options, but at that price, I'll take Dez Bryant. He's still got some elite traits that we'll take advantage of. Let's see. All right, next stage of free agency. This was the last stage. We signed Nickel Roby Coleman. He's going to play a little bit of a hybrid role for us. He'll play free safety in the base sets. Then he'll slide to slot nickel when we go to that package. So that was an important signing for us. I was surprised he was still out there. He's a really good player. Murray is a good player at that price. That's a good job for the 49ers. Bulaga was one of the last tackles available. Thought about paying him, but I didn't want to pay that kind of money to a guy who has undisciplined penalty tendency. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at offensive linemen, because those damn holding penalties and stuff will kill you when you're trying to make drives down the field. Seahawks spent big money on Tony Jefferson. I don't know if I would have gave him 4 years, but he is a good player, and they had a need there. All right. A.J. Green, we were looking at him, and the Cardinals decided to outbid me, like you really needed him, damn it. But, that's a good deal for them. And Jonnu Smith was a guy that, a few people were interested in, but the Redskins were able to, I guess, outbid everyone and get him to a big 5-year deal. All right. So now, as we always do, we're going to go team by team, and we are going to analyze what their roster looks like and where they may go in the draft. So we usually start in alphabetical. We're going to go reverse this time. We'll start with the Vikings. They have the 16th pick in the first round. And I'm just going to go through their roster. Well, they need a quarterback. That's pretty evident right there. I think he's good. He's been trying to trade Dalvin Cook because he's got this guy right here, Joe Sims, that's ready to take over. So I know if you need a running back, a lot of people don't, but if you need a running back, I know he's got him out there. I think he's pretty decent at receiver and tight end. I'm sure like the rest of us, he can definitely use offensive line. Right guard especially. Some depth on the D-line. Good starting D-ends. Depth at D-tackle. And let's see, linebackers look pretty good for the most part. He could use some help at corner. Rhodes has a bad contract and he's getting older, so you might want to look at a corner to supplement him because he'll be going out soon. And also free safety. Smith is strong. He's on the last year of his deal, so you might want to look at a replacement for him too. Titans got the 29th pick in the first round. They made a nice run last year in the playoffs. I believe they got to the AFC title game. So, all right, Mariota's good at QB. Henry's good at the running back. Needs some depth behind him, in my opinion. He's got a lot of receivers. I don't think you necessarily need one unless you just want to upgrade somewhere. Needs a tight end, although Pruitt's a good vertical tight end. All right, offensive line, not bad so far. Right guard needs some help, but not too bad. Defensive line is pretty good. A little depth at D tackle. Linebacker needs some help. And in this draft, this is a funny draft. I'll get to that in a little bit, but corner, maybe a number 2 corner, and maybe an upgrade at safety. All right, so we got Texans. Texans have the 9th pick in the first round. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go by overalls instead of going through the positions, and then we'll kind of make a snap judgment from there. But looking at the Titans overall, I think he made some good. Actually, we will go by position. That's going to take too long. Maybe could use an upgrade at running back. Maybe. Based on what he likes to do, I could see that. Very good top 2 receivers. Maybe could upgrade the slot guy, but Coleman is not bad there, or Kuti. Tight end is not bad with Hooper. Let's see, the offensive line, he probably use some help somewhere. Center, you need a right guard to function. Defensive line, defensive end, left end needs some help. Watt's getting a little older, although he's still elite, so maybe supplement him with a young guy, developmental guy. Linebackers aren't bad. Definitely need some help at corner. This is a good corner draft. And you just signed Reed. Okay. Alright. Steelers have the 7th pick in the first round. QB, because Rudolph I don't think is a long-term answer. He's a good backup. Maybe running back if you don't like Connor, which I think from what people say, he's a running guy, so you might want to look at that. Decent receivers. I guess if you're a run first guy, that's okay. Tight end, McDonald's okay. But you can use some upgrades there. Offensive line is not bad. Actually pretty good, but you need a right tackle. Defense. No, need to end badly. Oh, D-tackled. So defensive line, I think, should be the focus for the Steelers. Definitely in the first round. Right outside backer needs some help. Corners, yeah, you need a lead dog there. Free Davis is all right, and Edmonds, he's a good young guy. He can grow. So I think D-line is the way to go for the Steelers in the first round. Seahawks 25th pick in the first round. Of course, Russell Wilson is good. Carson is good. He beat me in the playoffs. He beat me with 6 damn passing yards. That was an ugly game. That was one of the ugliest games I've played in a long time. His receivers are good, though. That's a good group right there. Although you could upgrade the slot guy if you wanted to, but I think Jennings could grow into something. Tight end, good lord. How many tight ends do you need? Are you serious? Wow. Well, anyway, Daly's a good young guy, so I don't think you need a tight end. Does need some help with offensive line, I remember that. So I would definitely go offensive line early if I was them. He signed Merciless in free agency to help out. That was a good signing because he needs some immediate help there. D-line depth. Wagner, of course, is a beast in the middle. And those other guys aren't bad. Corners, those top 2 aren't bad. You need some depth behind them. You could find some in the 2nd and 3rd rounds in this draft if you're smart. Free safety, Thompson's okay. And Strong, he signed Jefferson in free agency. That was a need there. So overall, not too bad for the Seahawks. I'll look at offensive line, though. Absolutely. Saints have the 10th pick in the first round. I know he's going quarterback. I don't even know why I should even look at anything else. But we will anyway. His first pick will be a quarterback. And I think at 10, you have the chance of getting someone pretty good depending on what everyone else needs. I don't think a lot of people need a quarterback. You need a tight end also. But otherwise, offensive line, I'm looking to second and third rounds for that at the left guard and center positions. Better depth on the D line, well, defensive end. D tackle's not bad. Middle linebacker, not a good linebacker draft overall. Corners, he's pretty good with what he likes to do. And then safeties, not bad. So he's not in a bad position, but he definitely needs a quarterback. And I'll bet you $100 that he'll take a quarterback because there's not one on the roster. So that's pretty evident right there. All right, so let's jump to the Redskins. Have the 21st pick in the first round. They made the wild card last year. Dwayne Haskins, I believe, is locked in at that spot. Geis has done a good job at the running back spot. Definitely could use a receiver, and I could see him taking a receiver. He likes to throw the football, so the receiver might be where they go at 21. And there's some good options, different types available. Good at tight end with those two, Smith and Reed, so you could be running 2 tight end offense, which is probably a good idea when you don't have that many receivers. Offensive line is not bad overall. It's actually pretty damn good compared to most of us. Defensive line, he could use a little reinforcement there at the left end spot, but his D tackles are ridiculous. I think one of them actually plays the end position, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who it is. Then Barrett has done a good job at linebacker. Thurman was a guy he drafted last year to go at Foster. Corners could use an upgrade, so you could go corner as well for a lead dog. Eric Berry's still getting it done, and Collins is still, very good. So they're not a bad team. They get a little help at those positions, they might be able to make a little jump. Ravens 22nd pick in the first round. Of course, Jackson's good. I think he likes Ingram and Hill, but you could take a running back if one falls to you there at 22. I know you signed Sharp, I believe. Not a bad group right there, especially Marquise Brown. That's ridiculous. Pretty good tight end group right there. Offensive line wise, left guard could use an upgrade, so could center. The rest of them aren't bad. Need some help at the DN spot a little bit. Well, this guy might be able to develop into something there. Oh yeah, good gracious. You need another guy. D tackles aren't bad. Linebackers, not bad. Decent group, could use an upgrade for a big guy. I like the corner group right there, that's good. Of course, Thomas is still getting it done. And where's the strong safety? Well, Kazee, he signed Kazee, so one of those could go to strong. So, not bad. Not a bad team right there. Made the playoffs last year. Good job, Cody. Rams have 2 first-round picks, the 12th pick, and then the 15th pick from a trade with the 49ers, which involved an offensive lineman, which I didn't like at the time. But offensive linemen are commodities, so there you go. All right, Jared Goff is locked in at the quarterback spot. Of course, Todd Gurley's the man. Receiver, he could have used another guy to go with Cooks. I think he likes Treadwell. Two mid first round picks. There are receivers that'll be there. There'll be tight ends that can possibly supplement Butt or take the job. O-line wise, I know it's gotten better. No right guard though, so you could go O-line with one of those picks or wait till the 3rd round. But I don't know if you get a 3rd round guy. I don't know if he'll be ready to play. Donald is crazy. Fowler's not bad. Oh, D tackle, good gracious. It's a good D tackle draft though. It's a good D tackle draft if you are smart. It may not look like it, but anyway, I'm giving away too many secrets. But if you're watching, hey, appreciate your dedication. You deserve something. Corners, it's okay. Could use a lead dog there. Free safety's not bad. And Johnson, I like Johnson a lot. His speed doesn't look good, but he is a hell of a player. All right. Let's see. Raiders, 13th pick in the first round. Um, what's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? He's been trying to trade Derek Carr, but of course nobody wants to take on that salary. So he said he'll rock with him the rest of this season. Running back Jacobs isn't bad. He might go after a speed guy at 13, but he's not drafting, so he might want to trade for one. He's been trying to trade Brown, but of course, once again, no one will take on the salary. So maybe he'll draft a potential star receiver to replace him. Well, no, hopefully he sets his draft board. Kirkland is a good player. He drafted him last year. O-line wise, you need O-line too, left guard especially. Yeah. And Farrell's not bad at DN. No, he needs a right end bad. D tackles aren't bad. Hurst is a good player. I like him a lot. You need linebacker. Boy, next season, boy, you got to get rid of them contracts. You got to sign some free agents. Need a lead dog at corner. Free's okay. Strong's okay. So, yeah, the Raiders got some work to do. They got to get out from under them contracts. But, oh, man. Yeah, there's a lot of ways he can go in the first round. Patriots, 4th pick overall. All right. Interesting to see what he'll do here. Well, quarterback. That's pretty simple. Good running backs. Some depth at receiver. Tight end's good. Good O-line. Good gracious. See, he was smart. He's put money on O-line and free agency. He's got a very good O-line. So that's going to help develop a rookie quarterback, which is probably what he's going to take. But you need help on that D-line too. So later rounds, you're going to work on that D-line a good bit. Linebackers are okay. You need linebacker too. Top 2 corners aren't bad. Well, top 3 actually. That's not a bad corner group. Yeah, he can work with that. Like that young free safety right there. I believe he's an X factor. Good pick last year, and then Chung is hanging on. Good gracious. Oof. You might want to look at moving somebody like Calhoun right there to strong just to help you out for a little bit. The 79 speed. Oof. But Patriots, good job in free agency. In position to take a quarterback at 4. And then, these last, they got some mid-round picks that can fill some of those other spots. All right, yours truly. Shut up, 3-peat. It ain't happening. I told you I'd get my shit together this year. You ain't even going to make it out the damn conference. Anyway, that's the Packers, Bugatti, if y'all didn't know. Panthers had the 24th pick in the first round. All right. Let's see. We got Cam locked in long term. McCaffrey's locked in. I do have Caldwell on the block if you want a young, star, fast running back, which a couple of you need, so I'll be reaching out to you if you're interested. We're good at receiver. I like Samuel. We'll be re-signing more to a bunch of money. Those two will grow together. Ian Thomas is locked in at tight end. I like the group, even though they don't look that good on paper. Burns at left tackle is a star development guy. We're going to rock with him for now. He may get his ass beat a couple times, but we'll try to develop him and see what happens. Maybe we might get upgrade with left guard, but the rest of the line's good. Like all those 3 guys right there. Ian, I'm like Winovich. He's star development. We're going to rock with him. I like his physical traits. Burns is just crazy fearmonger. I didn't know what the hell that was, and I read it and I laughed. I like these new X Factor things. We're good at D tackle. Could use a little depth though, but we're good for this year. We signed Perryman. I like him at linebacker with Luke and Shaq. Corner, we got Dante. Like I said, Roby Coleman's going to play a little hybrid position for us. Jones is superstar development. I like the corner group a lot. Free Reed is going to back up and play in some packages at free. And then Boston at strong's good for a couple more years with Obi playing kind of the sub linebacker role in the nickel packages. All right. We are on to the damn champs. Dark horse 32nd pick. He don't need shit. Although Aaron Rodgers is getting old, it don't matter. Jones is real good at the back spot. He mixes in Grant with him. Let's see. Adams is really good at receiver. All those guys fit what he does pretty well. Westerman's a good young tight end right there. And O-line wise, left guard. Let's see. Pretty good. Well, left guard, right tackle. So he'd probably go offensive line. Well, I don't know. He'll take a projected 6th rounder. He'll come out a damn 89 superstar. So that's probably what'll happen in the first round. Some depth at D tackle for sure. I think the rest of this team is pretty good. He's been trying to trade Preston Smith, but I don't think anyone wants the contract. Good corner group. And good group overall. Not a lot of holes, but definitely O-line for those 2 positions here he had. Lions first pick, so they are open, so we're not going to go through the roster, but if you know someone, they can join today. They can have the first pick in the draft, and I can help them out in terms of scouting. But there it is. So, I don't know. Number 1 pick, I figured it'd be attracted to somebody. Jets, 18th pick in the first round. I think they barely missed the playoffs last year. Sam Darnold does a good job for them. Of course, Le'Veon Bell's locked in for a couple more years. He's still real good. Anderson, Crowder. He might take a look at a slot guy to upgrade Dortch right there at the receiver spot. Decent tight end group. Nothing special. Left tackle. Yeah, you need that. At 18, you might be able to get one. People don't seem to prioritize offensive linemen as much. For whatever reason. Defensive line's not bad because he's a depth at D tackle. Left outside backer. Need that badly. Need a lead dog at corner. Although that Nickerson guy's a superstar, so looks like he's been working on him. So he's still growing a little bit. And then safeties. Jamal Adams is a beast. Selfless. I've never seen that one. Selfless. I just want to look at this real quick. Oh, wow. That's a hell of a... nice. Okay. Alright, so let's jump to the Jags. 27th pick in the first round. I think they lost in the second round of playoffs last year. Of course, Allman is going to be really good. He's an upgrade on him from doing his articles and videos. Thank you very much. Savage, really good running back, young superstar. Probably could trade for Fournette if you wanted him, but I don't know why you would. The receiver group's pretty good. He may take another guy because Lee's starting to get a little older. Let's see, tight end. Yeah, he needs another backup. I think he likes him as a starter, Oliver. Let's see, offensive line. He's upgrade on the right side, but not bad. Defensive end's average. Good D tackle signings in free agency. He had a big need for those. Allen is a beast. This linebacker group and then the secondary just pisses you off when you play it. I mean, really? Really? I mean, what the hell? So when you play the Jags, you're going to have to just really be patient because it's just a pain in the ass. Could use upgraded free safety, but why the hell would you? You don't need it with those corners. Giants, 20th pick in the first round, had a pretty good year in a rebuilding situation. I don't know I know he's a Giants fan, but I don't know if he's going to stick with Jones or not. It'll be interesting to see. Of course, Barkley's the man. He may go free wide receiver. He's usually a big trader, but he hadn't really traded. Well, no one's really trading. There have been no trades so far, unless there was one this morning. That's why I didn't even look at him. That's crazy. He signed Dawkins in free agency, which was a good signing. The O-line is pretty good. He also signed Bulaga, which I wouldn't have gave him that money, but I guess if you don't have a tackle, you got to sign one. So there you go. Decent defensive ends, decent defensive tackles, decent linebackers. I like Wooden. He's a good young guy. Decent corners, and safeties aren't bad. So, I mean, he's setting up for, to have a better team at that quarterback position. I don't think you're going to get one at 20 that you want to lead your franchise unless you get lucky. So, we'll see. 49ers don't have a first-round pick, but they did supplement their roster in free agency like they always do. Good running back core. I don't know about Garoppolo, but he's paid right now, so kind of got to go with him. A lot of receivers. A lot of receivers. Kittle is a beast at tight end, of course. I think his O-line's not bad. Done a good job with signing some veteran guys and drafting guys. Havenstein was the one he traded the first round pick for, which I wouldn't have done, but I mean, I understand. Bosa's ridiculous. Thomas does a good job. Defensive line is not bad. Could use an upgraded linebacker. Upgraded corner. Need a lead dog there. He signed Murray and Poyer, so he did a good job filling holes. He just needs some guys to kind of go along with that. Falcons got the 17th pick in the first round. Of course, Logan is tough. I don't know what brick wall is. I have to go back and look at these X factors. Freeman still got some juice in him at the running back spot. I think he uses Ito Smith though, who's a little younger. Of course, Julio's still good. Ridley's turning into a beast. Could use some guys behind him. Needs a tight end bad. Could go there in the first round at that spot. Offensive line, of course, like most people, could use some help with. Left guard and center, especially. D-line, good gracious. Man, Jared is tough. He's a tough guy to block. Linebacker, of course, you need a left outside backer. Corners are okay. Safety, you can get, Keanu Neal. The pain in the ass, man. All right, Eagles. Number 2 pick. I haven't seen the Eagles. I have to check on him. I know he's an Eagles fan, so I feel like he'll be around, but must not. I don't think he has no money. That's why he hadn't done anything. That's right. I forgot his money is terrible. Of course, could use a running back. At number 2, you'll definitely have some options. A lot of options there. Could also go receiver. Need a lead dog there. Good tight ends though. I would stay in 2 tight ends a lot if I was them. That would also help this offensive line. I need some help on the left and the right. 3 offensive line spots need some help. Defensive ends are decent, a little older. Cox is a beast. Need some help at linebacker especially. He's got to get from under some of those contracts. I mean, he's got some bad contracts. And that's just how the Eagles are in real life. So it takes a couple years to get from under those, and then he can finally do something. But that's why you see some of these players that he has, because he doesn't have a choice, and it's tough. So that's a hell of a job to try and manage that roster. So hopefully this draft can help him get some good picks to help that out. Okay, Dolphins don't have a first-round pick, but they did a good job overall in free agency. He's managed to make Rosen a pretty decent player. He's got a lot of different running backs there with Lindsey and Drake. Interesting group right there. Talented group. Definitely need some receivers to go with Parker and Grant, who are good at what they do. Could go 2 tight ends a lot with Jenkins and Gesicki there. Offensive line, He's an upgraded left guard, but you could move one of those centers to guard, which I think he might do at Warford there. And then got right tackle, so one or the other. Defensive end, Kerrigan is still good. Talk about veteran players that are valuable. If you can find them and they're still decent, use them for a year or two. Get your young guys ready to go. I like Baker a lot. He's a great speed guy. He's assigned forward. McMillan's good at linebacker. I think probably one of those guys will move to right outside backer and replace Burfict there. Decent corner group. You can work with that. Fitzpatrick, of course, is a beast, and Swearinger, good, strong box safety. So I like what the Dolphins have done. They've done a good job. Good stuff all around. Cowboys, 2 first-round picks. I believe one of those is he traded offensive lineman to the Dolphins, actually. So here we go. He's locked into Prescott. Of course, Elliott is the man. Needs some depth at receiver. Of course, Tavon is hanging on. He's still decent, but needs someone else to go with him. But he's a run guy first. Schultz, I believe, is more of a blocking tight end, I believe. Of course, offensive line is still pretty good overall. Yeah. Defensive line, of course, Lawrence is good. Needs some help at the other end spot. The tackles are decent. Nothing special. Could use some upgrades at linebacker, especially on the left side. The other two are great. Decent corners. At least the top 2 are decent. Of course, Jones. I would move Jones to corner. I would not leave him at safety. You need a guy like that just challenging you, man to man instead of playing back in a more of a zone position unless you're blitzing a ton. But that's just my opinion. And Brown is a great speed safety. So there you go. All right. Let's jump to Colts. Have the 6th pick in the first round. See what they're talking about. Of course, Andrew Luck, he got in before, right when we started the league, Andrew Luck left. So he got lucky with that. Of course, so he's still here. Hines and Godfrey are a good pair of running backs. So I think he's good there. He signed Jones in free agency. I think that was a good signing when you look at the rest of this. Campbell can be a good slot guy. As a Panthers fan, I hate Funches, but I guess he's decent in Madden. That's why as far as how he's rated. Ebron's a good tight end right there for the next couple of years. I think the offensive line is actually pretty good. Yeah, they are. You nitpicking on right tackle, but he's serviceable. Could use some help at the D end spot. D tackles are okay. Linebackers. Leonard, of course, is a beast. I remember McCoy drafted him last year. He ended up being X Factor. He picked him pretty early. Not a bad guy to build around. Of course, Hooker's good. And Wilson is pretty good. So Colts says Funches isn't bad. Don't let my Panthers hate scrutinize him. In real life, he was a disappointment for us, but in Madden, I guess he's all right. All right, the Chiefs have the 3rd pick in the first round. I saw him. He's back and able to be active a little bit, which is great. Of course, we all know Mahomes is a beast. They could go running back at number 3. Should have some options there if you want to go for a franchise guy. Need some depth at receiver, but these two, good Lord, the speed on these guys. Jeez almighty. That's like real life, though. Of course, we know Kelsey's a beast. Offensive line, good Lord. I know you don't want to use a 3rd pick on offensive lineman, but they need some help. So maybe later on in the draft, you go there. Defensive line need a little more depth there, but they're decent. Linebackers, I know he likes Darren Lee a good bit at the middle spot. Needs some help on the left side. Needs some depth at corner behind Fuller, who's a good lead dog there. Free safety, not bad. And then Matthew is still pretty good at the strong. So Chiefs are in a good spot. You go get a big time running back at number 3. Your offense, and you be in a pretty good spot. You just need some depth. All right, Super Bowl losers, but the AFC champs, the Chargers, 31st pick in the first round. So Rivers retired, so maybe he will actually go with Easton Stick this time. I don't know. We'll see. You could take somebody, maybe you get lucky and do some scouting and find someone to lead the offense at the 31st spot. Of course, we all know Gordon's a beast. Eckler's a good backup. It's good at receiver with Allen and Williams. And then Crisp, I know he drafted him, I think, pretty high last year. Those top 3 I know he likes. I like the signing of Everett. You go 2 tight ends with those 2 receivers. You got good players all over the field. Of course, he needs help at O-line like the rest of us. Bosa is ridiculous. Ingram is very good. Well, he's starting to slow down a little bit at 32, but he's still a good player. D tackles are okay. He signed Godcho in free agency. I thought was a good signing. Run stuffing guy. Linebackers, it doesn't matter. He uses those guys like crazy. Good corners. Top 3 are pretty good. And then safeties, he'll use them too. And Derwin James is just ridiculous. So, be another good season out in LA for the Chargers. Cardinals, 30th pick in the first round. All right. Of course, Kyler Murray's locked in as the man. He's been trying to trade David Johnson. I guess he's going to draft a running back. I don't see him going with Logan full time. So, that's my thought process. I hadn't really scouted running backs, so I don't know if there's any real good ones out there or not. Receiving group is really good. Of course, he could just be going 4 wide and saying fuck it. So, or even 5 with this group. So, good group right there. Good tight ends. So, his versatility on the offense that he can go with, which is always really good. Good offensive lineman overall compared to most of us. Could use a DN though. At that late first round spot, that's always a good spot to try to get defensive linemen. You see, he really needed McCoy to try to help that D tackle group. Linebackers are decent. And I remember he told me, he said he needed defensive help. So that might be where he's going. And, he might just be throwing it around on offense. Or you could wait and get a running back in the second round. You do your homework. There could be some. Like I said, I didn't scout them, so I'm not sure. Those top 2 corners are really good. He's done smart with doing his articles and then using his upgrades to help those guys develop. And this roster management in this Madden, I think he's done a good job taking advantage of those things we offer in this league. I love Rudy Ford. Don't let the rating fool you. He plays much better than that. Overall, they're a really good team. They're a really good team. And he's building them the right way, like he did last Madden with the Bengals. Buccaneers have the 11th pick in the first round. I don't know if James is going to stick around or not. We'll see. I don't know about Huntington. We'll see if he sticks with him. Not a bad player, but, I don't know. Just don't know when you get a new owner in there. Could use some other receivers there. Some of those guys, are okay, but the top 2 aren't bad. O.J. Howard's a good player at the tight end spot. Offensive line definitely could use some help. Oh, yeah, you don't have a center and right tackle. So, O-line at that spot, I think you can get a good one. Absolutely, in that part in the first round. Vea's a beast at the D tackle spot. So, he just needs some more players. And I don't know if it's money, although it probably is. But I don't think Tampa Bay has a ton of bad contracts. But, I don't know. Corners are decent. Safeties are decent. So, a little work to do, but, you got something to work with there. Browns, 28th pick in the first round, had a good season. last year. Once again, of course, Mayfield's locked in. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Oh my God, look at these running backs. What a group, man! It's probably the best group in the game right there. Really good receiving group right here with those top three guys, and then Ratley's got some good speed too. I mean, really good receivers. Good tight end group right there. My goodness, I mean, what? Where did they go? Offensive line. Could use an upgraded left tackle, right tackle. So offensive line at that spot. Defensive end, left end, because Garrett's a beast. D tackles aren't bad. I want to know, every year, damn Browns get rated so well, and then they can't do shit in real life. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But this is a good team. It's one of the best rated teams that I've seen. Although you could use some help at the strong safety spot, but that might be where you go. Strong safety and what we say, defensive line? Yeah, strong safety, defensive line for the Browns. They don't need much. Broncos, 5th pick in the first round. Hopefully he's drafting. Locke, I think, is all right. I think you can get by with him depending on what you like to do on offense, which I'm not really sure. Physical running backs right here. If you like physical backs, you're good. If you want a speed guy, you have to look at drafting somebody or trading for him. Could use some help at the receiver spot if you want more speed there. Got some physical guys. They lost Lindsey. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So yeah, they would have to, hopefully look for a speed guy if that's what they want. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't want that. Tight end Fant's a good young player there. Let's see. Offensive line, decent. Could use upgraded center, right guard. Okay. Some pieces to work with. Wolf is alright at the DN. Young player Smith he can grow a little bit. D tackles are decent. Von Miller, good gracious. Of course, he's still a beast at 32. Linebackers aren't bad. He must be playing 3-4 because he got Chubb right there at outside backer spot. Okay. Chris Harris is still pretty good, even though he's getting older. Decent corner group. We can work with that. And then, not bad. So, I mean, the Broncos got some pieces. They just got to, figure out what they want to do. And then I hope, like I said, I hope he drafts tonight. I know he didn't play a ton of games because he came in late. So, hopefully that's the case. Bills is the newest guy to the league. Welcome. 19th pick in the first round. They made some free agent signings. Of course, y'all know Kendall, the old Bills owner, did a great job in developing Josh Allen. So he's got a kind of walked into a good situation with him. Signed Marlon Mack in free agency. I guess he'll be the lead dog at the running back spot. Signed T.Y. Hilton to go with those receivers right there. Good group. Decent tight ends right there. Offensive line. That might be where you go. No left tackle. I think they lost Dawkins in free agency. But the rest of them aren't bad. Well, tackles. So could go offensive tackle with their draft pick. Defensive ends are decent. Oliver is pretty good. Pretty good D tackles overall. Linebackers aren't pretty good. Of course, Trey White's a beast. Safeties are pretty good. So hey, I mean, if you want to go broke, I mean, why not? Shit, got a pretty good team. And he, if he feels confident that he's a good player, then hey, you might as well go for it. I mean, there's two ways you can go. I think you can cut money and try to go young, or go for it. And he's going for it. And 19th pick, I think you take offensive lineman, definitely at the tackle spot, and take a chance and shoot your shot. Bengals got the 8th pick in the first round. Glad he's back. You guys didn't know, Bengals had surgery, had a pretty bad injury, but he's on the mend and he's able to recover. He's able to play now. Don't know if he's committed to Joey Parker. We'll see. Uh, at the eighth spot, you could get a pretty good quarterback. You could. Depends on how it goes. Of course, Mixon's locked in at the running back spot. Good group of, pretty good group of between the top two. They're good. You might, I don't know how he feels about Malone, so he could take a receiver later on to try to help that out. A lot of tight ends. I think he'll clean that up though. Offensive line could use some help like the rest of us. Left guard, center. Oh, those centers. Oh, well, no, center's pretty good. Well, they're decent. Defensive ends could use some help at left end. Gino's still hanging on. Not a bad D tackle group. Could use some help at the linebacker spot. But he does use her pretty decently. A lot of corners. Top three, I think, can help you out. Bates, not bad at free. Of course, Myrick is a beast. User, beast at the strong. So, got some pieces, but like I said, I'm glad he's back in the fold. Bears, 26 pick in the first round. No Trubisky. Let him go. We'll see what happens. Of course, Cohen and Montgomery are a good tandem right there at the running back spot. Decent receivers right there. Burton is a really good tight end with Shaheen. Good group right there. Offensive line wise, not bad. Right guard could use some help. The right side could use some help, but left side's pretty good. D line's not bad. Overall, a little depth at D tackle. Mack is a beast. We all know that. Like that linebacker group a lot. Some help at corner, but Fuller is a lead dog. So is Jackson. Good gracious. Good secondary. All right. So they were a playoff team last year. Made the second round. Congrats. I'm glad to see that. And that's it. Wow. That's everybody. All right. So, just keep in mind a couple things. I'm going to go to the news tab right here. All right. So, for the draft, remember that we have some rules, and I'll post them all once again once we get to draft time. Of course, if you're going to be there, first round, we don't skip anybody. Once we hit the second round, there's a 1 minute limit to make your pick. If you don't make your pick in a minute, I will skip you. That's just to keep things moving. Because we do all 7 rounds. We don't skip any rounds or anything like that. Once the draft is over, we'll do the post-draft show, which will be just like this, where we'll come in and recap the draft. I'll go through picks. Remember the storyline players. I'll post the video of the storyline players that I put into the draft. Just a note, everything that looks good is not always good. I know some of them look really good, but I'm telling you, you got to be smart. You got to be smart with that. And then after the draft, we'll go to the preseason. Remember, when we're in the preseason, for the entire preseason, you can only sign one free agent, unless they're a kicker or a punter. No limit on those, but entire preseason, only sign one free agent. Preseason advances will be like they always are. We'll advance throughout the day. Tomorrow, I'll post that schedule up in the chat. And then we'll go into season 3 tomorrow night. So that's where we're going with all of this. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. That's your pre-draft show. Appreciate it. Get your scouting in. Trades are open, of course. And we'll see everybody at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight for the draft. Appreciate it.